Yo, welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal,
I'm Andio.
and we are KAMMA about to talk about UFC Vegas 100. We reached the century mark now, and this is going to be a great card. Looking forward to this card. It looks pretty stacked. It looks like a decent card. We got Neil Magny versus Carlos Prates for the main event of this card. But we're about to talk about our early predictions for the prelims. We'll start it off right now by getting into who's in the prelims. We got Gore versus Antonio Troli, Cortavius Romos against Gaston Balanos, Melissa Mullins against Claudia Segula. That fight was she came in on short notice. Cody Stamann against Damon Blackshear, Charles Radkey against Matthew Semmelsberger, Mansour Abdul Malik against Dusko Todorovic. And the main event is now Eluzo Zelensky dos Santos versus Zach Scoggins, who also came in on short notice. And we'll get into that in a minute, talk to you what happened. So let's start with the first fight. We got Gore versus Antonio Troli. I'm curious to see who you got here, Andio, in this one.
Yeah, here I was kind of going back and forth the past couple of days, but I'm going to have to lean in the end with Troli. With Gore, man, he's been gone 2 years, and he's going to have a little rust because he's coming straight up into the big leagues again right now. His wrestling is good. He has pretty decent striking and decent power also, but I don't think he's active enough. And I think if Troli wants to win, he's got to get this guy down, and he's got to tire him out. And I think that's going to be the game plan. I think he's going to have some success with it. Because don't forget, also, Troli he was supposed to fight another guy on short notice, then he ended up fighting Seura on short notice, and Seura Bullet beat him in the third round, and it was a decent showing from Troli to last the way he did, took some damage. I think he learned from it, and I think he bounces back with a win here over Gore. And Gore, he only has 6 fights, and he only beat Josh Fremd really in some fluky guillotine choke when he was going to pop Josh Fremd's head off there, I thought. So give me Troli by knockout or decision.
Yeah, Troli, I don't find him that great or anything like that. But the massive height advantage, he's going to have a 5-inch height advantage on Gore, and also a massive 5-inch reach advantage as well. So that's I just think he's going to be too big for him. He's also built like a tank. He's in very great shape. He's muscular and huge. I think he was on roids. I think even got caught for it. I think you mentioned. Did he get caught for roids?
Yeah, he did, and he got suspended for a while.
So he's juiced up to the gills. This guy, Gore is also in phenomenal shape too. He's very ripped and very built as well. He makes a lot of mistakes though, Gore, when he fights. He is a good wrestler, good grappling. He's got some submissions as well. Like you said there, the last fight against Josh Fremd, he got that fluky guillotine, but didn't look good against Cody Brundage and did not look good against Brian Battle in the 2 fights before that. Like you said, he's been out of the cage in 2 years. It's been 2 years that he hasn't fought, so that's going to make a difference. Whereas Troli just fought 4 months ago. Also, like you said, he's got more fights under his belt. I'm going to take a slight lean to Troli here. Not with the super highest of confidence in this one, but I think he could beat Gore, especially the ring rust for Gore haven't not been in there for so long. I think he also got hurt Gore, and that's why he was out for such a long time. I'll go with Antonio Troli to win. How he's going to win, I'll go with I know he has some submissions, but I'll go with a decision for Troli here. I think he'll just do a little bit more work, maybe get the Gore onto the ground. If he can get some takedowns and get on top of him, with his height and size there, it's going to be hard for Gore to get back up. So I'll take Antonio Troli to win by decision. How do you have him winning there?
Yeah, decision or you said he has more subs, right?
Going to take a look, actually. The guy has, he's got 3 wins by knockout, 5 submissions, and 4 decisions. I'll take sub or decision.
Yeah, me too. He's on the pillow hand side, I think, also. So give me a decision or sub.
All right, so we're in agreement with the first fight of the prelims. Let's move on up to the next fight. we have Cortavius Romius against Gaston Balanos. Now, I actually took a look at Cortavius Romius, watched the video of this guy fighting. He is absolutely amazing. He goes by the nickname "Are You Not Entertained," which is really cool because he is very entertaining. He's very fast. His striking is like lightning bolts. The guy punches super fast. He's got grappling. He's got some submissions. He's got wrestling. Very, very good overall fighter. I think that he's going to blow by Gaston Balanos in this one, man. I think he's going to destroy this guy. Last fight that he had in the Contender Series, he beat this guy, Michael Imperato. But he's had submissions as well. He's very good at subs. 3 submission wins prior to that decision win in the Contender Series. So Cortavius is very good on the ground. He's got a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. If you look there, you'll see that he fights out of Pura Vida BJJ MMA. So you know he's got a very good BJJ. Gaston Balanos, man, lost 3 of his last 5 fights. Not looking very good at all. Last fight was against Marcus McGee, where he got knocked out pretty badly by Marcus McGee. But Marcus McGee is really good. He did get a win against Aaron Phillips in his UFC debut. But also took some losses in Bellator. Not really great, Gaston Balanos at all. He will have a 3-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage, which is not very significant. But I got to go with this new guy, Cortavius Romius, man. He's looking really good. I think he gets the finish here by submission or maybe even a knockout. He punches pretty hard too. I like Cortavius in this one, man. What about you?
Yeah, so do I, man. I think it's going to come down to his grappling and his wrestling, with the fact that he's well-rounded also. I think Gaston Bolognese' weakness is his grappling. People can take it down. In fact, the guy that you just mentioned that he fought took him down a few times, and that wasn't a good look. Yeah, Balanos, he does have a lot of Muay Thai and kickboxing fights as well. Like, he does have skills. He does have some hard, precise shots when he lines them up well. But even if he gets up from getting taken down, I think he'll just get taken down again, and Cortavius will just work him over there on the ground and probably end up getting a sub. So give me a sub or decision for Cortavius.
Let's not forget Gaston Balanos is from Peru. He might be a relative of one of our boy Javier. You know what I mean? So yeah. We're not too hard on these Peru guys. They've been disappointing us lately, the fighters from Peru. So yeah, we're going to stick with Cortavius Romius here in this one. All right, so we're in agreement in the first 2 fights of the prelims like that, man. Let's move on up to the next fight. We got Melissa Mullins against Claudia Segula. Now, before you get started, NDO, I know it's your turn. I just wanted to mention that this fight was originally supposed to be Melissa Mullins versus Montserrat Rendon, and that fight got canceled because Rendon withdrew. So Claudia is coming in here on short notice. Who you got in this one?
Okay, I didn't even know that. Yeah, either way, this is kind of a tougher fight to call than I originally thought, because Melissa Mullins here, who used to be called something else, I can't remember, like, her striking is just really awful. It didn't seem to get that much better. She would have to win with her takedowns here, and try to dominate with top control, if anything. But Segura here, she can get feisty in there, and she has finishes also. And I thought, is Melissa Mullins going to easily be able to take her down? I think Segura may even be better in the clinch, but very close to call. For right now, I'm going to have to slightly lean towards Mullins. Count on her. Let's see her try to get some takedowns with some success and win a very, very close decision, maybe even split decision. So yeah, give me Mullins for now.
Yeah, she used to be Melissa Dixon.
Yeah,
that's her name, but I think now she's obviously changed her name to Melissa Mullins there. No mess Mullins. I like her, man. I like her in this one. This one I'm going for the more manly looking chick. in this one, and I'm going to go for Melissa Mullins. She looks more like the manlier out of the two. She's also much bigger. She's going to be very muscular and bigger than Claudia. She's got a very good wrestling. She's very good in wrestling and takedowns. So I think that's going to be her bread and butter here against Claudia, to take her down and use her grappling. Melissa Mullins also fought Nora Cornell in her last fight. She got knocked out, but prior to that, beat Irina Alexeva, which was also one of those girls that was supposed to be a good prospect there. In her UFC debut, she got the win. Claudia, coming in on short notice here, fought a lot of cans in her career. In Aroma UFC, she usually wins by decision, so that means to me she's not really a finisher. She did get one knockout, but she normally wins by decision against lower level fighters too. Melissa Mullins, I think she's going to be the better fighter here in this one. She's got more experience. She's from England too. She's looking good, man. Melissa Mullins is the pick for me. I say she wins a split decision or a unanimous decision, but it's definitely going to go to the judges' scorecards. But just the fact that she's been training to fight Rendon, and then this one's coming in on short notice, I can't see Claudia winning on short notice like that. So I'm going to go with Melissa Mullins with a full training camp here to get the winning decision.
She in fact, Seguia did get 3 finishes in her last 3 fights, just to give her a little credit.
Yeah, she got a couple of knockouts in the last 2 fights, but prior to that, it was all decisions that was winning in the Aroma events. She's not that great. And you know, like I said, with Melissa Mullins on a full training camp here, I can see her winning. She's going to be bigger too, more muscular, bigger, and stronger than Claudia. So it's going to be hard for Claudia to really do much damage to her in this one. All right, so we're in agreement with 3 fights so far. That's looking good. Let's get to the next fight here. We got Cody Stamann against Damon Blackshear. Damon Blackshear kind of disappointed me in that last fight where he got knocked out by Montel Jackson.
Can say that again.
Very disappointed in that one, but Montel Jackson was, he's a taller fighter. Also, just caught him with a straight punch. It was very weird. Like they were starting the fight, and then he just clocked him one and just caught him on the chin. Man, it was very bad luck. A lucky knockout punch that he got there. But Damon Blackshear, man, this guy's been a star. Prior to that, man, he's been killing it. The guy this time is going to be the bigger guy. He's going to be 5'10". Cody is going to be 5'6", so it's a nice 4-inch height advantage for him there. He's also going to have a significant, almost 8-inch reach advantage, which I really, really like. That's going to be a huge advantage, especially that Blackshear, very good striker. He's got good punches. He moves around very well. He's got grappling. He's got submissions. BJJ is very good. Cody Stamann, he's decent, but man, did he not look good in his last fight against Taylor Lapalus. Got dominated, was getting ragdolled by Lapalus. Lapalus took him down many times in that fight. Also against Douglas Silva de Andrade, same thing. Was able to take him down and ragdoll him. I think Damon Blackshear does the same, takes him down, ragdolls him a bit, gets some ground and pound, and maybe even finishes him off with a submission. I got Damon Blackshear winning this one by KO or submission. I just think Cody Stamann is just on the outs, man. I think that Damon Blackshear's last loss was a fluke. So I'm not saying Damon is finished at all, but Cody Stamann's been looking bad lately. I don't think he wins this fight, that's for sure.
Yeah, maybe it is a fluke if you want to say that with Montel Jackson, but Montel Jackson is very good. And look, I like Damon Blackshear, and I think, as you mentioned, great subs. His striking's okay, but it's a little, he can't rely on it too much, I don't think. And I had high hopes for him. And this latest knockout really shows you, well, he can lose in that way as well. And he puts on great performances, but at the end of the day, I think we may have a guy on our hands that may just find ways to lose and always look good and always put on exciting fights, whether he wins or he loses. And he just can't seem to beat the good guys. He, like, okay, the loss of Montel Jackson, you know, kind of unfortunate at the beginning, but he loses to Mario Batista again.
Batista's a top 15 guy too. Let's not forget Batista's a top 15 guy. He's really
exactly. So he's beating Jose Johnson and Juan Lacerda, but then you're fighting Farid Basharat, good guy, right?
Hey,
you're not beating him though. You're fighting Yusuf Zalal, great showing, decision there. So that's okay. Great performance. Didn't lose that fight, right? And I'm looking back here, and he's beaten some no names. And the further down the list I go, the next good name he fights is Danny Sabatello, who's not bad, and he lost to him also. So, and he probably looked very good in that fight too. I'm gonna have to go with Cody Stamann here, based on the way Cody Stamann fights. You know, he has that game plan that he's gonna, you know, use a simple yet kind of effective striking in order to get those takedowns. I think Damon Blackshear is going to be looking for a lot of subs down there, a lot of scrambles, and Stamann's smart down there too. I don't think Stamann's showing that much signs of a slowing down, even though he's getting up there. And I don't know. I have a feeling it could go to decision. I think Stamann could win a decision, and you know, I'm kind of surprised at this pick myself, but I'm going to have to go with Cody Stamann on this one at this money. This is ridiculous money for Cody Stamann on this line here on top of that. Not that that has anything to do with the pick, but...
Yeah, well, if you want to talk about the betting, he could make the dogs list there. You know, the fact that Damon Blackshear was able to go 3 rounds to a decision against Farid Basharat, who we've seen how good this guy is, I like Damon. He's the only guy to get a twister. You know, a twister submission in the UFC. I think there's only a couple of guys that were able to do that. So this guy's got some really good ground game. And the thing that I can't go with Cody because Damon's just going to be so much bigger, man. At 5'10", he's going to be towering over Cody. The reach advantage, we're talking 8-inch reach advantage, man. It's 72.2 to 64.5. I mean, we're pretty much 8 inches there. I mean, Damon's going to piece this guy up, man.
I don't think he has the striking style to really...
He does have the striking. He just didn't show it in that last fight because he got clipped by Montel. But if you remember the fight against Mario Batista, he did land a lot of good strikes in that fight. It's just that Batista was just he's just a really top level fighter. But Damon was able to land a lot of strikes. He got a lot of strikes in that fight. But yeah, man. All right, so we're in disagreement with this one. I got Damon Blackshear finishing him off. Who do you have? You have Cody Stamann winning how?
Yeah, I got Cody Stamann by a decision.
Decision. Okay. All right. So we're in disagreement with one fight in the prelims. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Charles Radkey, Chuck Buffalo versus Semi the Jedi Matthew Semmelsberger. I think it's your turn or mine?
Yeah, I think it's mine here. And here we are going to have to go. So, well, I was back and forth here. Well, not really back and forth. I was going to go with Radkey. But
yeah, baby.
I changed my mind.
What?
I'm going with Semi the Jedi, man.
You can't go with Semmelsberger. Are you serious, bro?
I think he's well-rounded. I think he's fought against much better opposition. Much like the guy we just talked about, Blackshear, he didn't win against this opposition, but in a couple of those fights, he was on the verge of winning, but his stupidity got in his way.
That's the problem, though, his stupidity.
Contrary to what I say most of the time, which is you just can't teach brains, you know? If a guy just is stupid, he's going to do stupid things, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I really think that at some point, in this case, you have to learn from these mistakes, and he's right there, you know? But more than that, man, I don't think Radkey's as good as some people think. I was on the Radkey bandwagon up until last time, until he got totally demolished by...
hold on. The guy who fought Carlos Prates was main eventing this whole card here, man.
Yeah, but still, we can't
focusing to him.
I like a few good things that Radkey does. I love his body shots once he gets a chance to use them, if he decides to use them. But that's about it, man. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Schmelsberger he tries different things to win. He'll like go for legs even down there. Not look, that stuff cost him sometimes, but I think it's going to lead to a win at some point. I remember you yourself, you were kind of high on Schmelzberger after he beat, I think it was Matthews, was
Jake
it?
Matthews, yeah.
And that's a good win, man. You know, that's a solid win. I like Jake Matthews, and he
Bro,
beat him. I was very surprised.
it's his only win in the last. It's his only win in the last in the last 2 years, man.
Better than any win that Radkey's had, and he's fighting this time for his life. So, well, your life's on the line, man. That's why I say he survives, and he gets a good win here over Radkey by decision or sub.
I can't back Matthew Semmelsberger anymore. The guy is going on the downhill. This is where I'm starting to see him. He's just not the same. He's not the same. I used to love Matthew Semmelsberger. This guy was amazing out there.
He's 3 years younger than Radkey, even.
Yeah, and that's the thing that scares me. He's even though he's younger, he's still not looking good lately, man. He's been fighting like shit.
He also has that reach advantage, that height advantage, right?
The height advantage, it's going to be a 4-inch height advantage.
I'm just saying.
He's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage.
Yeah.
Not bad, but he's always been a tall guy, Semmelsberger. But look, here's my problem, man. You lose to Preston Parsons, who's not really a very known striker. He's more of a grappler, a guy who likes to wrestle and grapple and take the fight to the ground.
Yes.
We've seen Semmelsberger get taken down on his back. Charles Radkey, very good at grappling, very good at wrestling. He could take him down. Semmelsberger on his back has a hard time getting up. He's very, very bad on his back when he gets taken down.
That's because he goes for shit half the time, I think. I don't know.
The fight against Euros Medic, where he got knocked out there by spinning back fist, that was pretty brutal.
I consider Euroshmetic like close to the top, though. He's very good now. Very good.
The fight against Jeremiah Wells went to split decision there.
He should have
constantly by Jeremiah Wells, had him on the ground all the time in that fight.
That's stupidity. Yeah, that's stupidity. He didn't win that fight. And I think there's a Gerald Mearshard fight, if I'm not mistaken, there.
Well, the Jake Matthews he won, and then prior to that, it was Alex Morono. Now, that fight against Alex Morono was embarrassing for Semmelsberger. He should have won that fight. I couldn't believe that Morono beat him. Morono was the shorter guy, not as powerful. You know, he managed to do the same thing, and that's the problem I have with Semmelsberger. He gets taken down easily, and he sucks on the ground. And this is the reason why I got to go with Charles Radkey here. Much better grappler. He's tough as nails. He's a dog. Radkey comes in there. He fights for your money. He's got good striking. He's very powerful. Good body punches, like you mentioned. Good leg kicks, and his takedowns are just really good. He's very good at grappling, man. I see him taking down Semmelsberger, some ground and pound. I got Radkey winning this one. I think it's going to be by knockout. I don't like the chin on Semmelsberger either. He looked pretty bad against Euros Medic there, getting knocked out there. And I think he could do it.
Knocked out.
I think he could do it, man. I think Radkey could get the knockout here on Semmelsberger. I like Charles Radkey to win by finish here by knockout, man. So we're in disagreement with this one. Maybe by the end of the week, you never know, there might be some changes. We'll see. But for now, I like Charles Radkey here. All right, moving on up to the next fight here. We got Mansour Abdul Malik against Dusko Todorovic. Dusko Todorovic's another guy that I can't trust anymore. I'm gonna have to pass on this guy. I'm going for Mansour Abdul Malik. This guy looks amazing. Another guy who's very exciting to watch. He fights really, really hard. He's got very good kicks, very good strikes. He punches hard too. And he comes out very, very wild and entertaining. So this guy's going to come out there and really fight really well. I like what he's doing. So far, he's been on a tear, on a winning streak here in the Contender Series. He beat a pretty decent guy at Wes Schultz, who was 6-1. And then all through the LFA, he's been smashing people up, getting submissions with guillotine chokes, getting knockouts, ground and pound. I think he takes down Dusko Todorovic and I think he finishes him. Todorovic's been looking really bad lately. Got knocked out by Christian Leroy Duncan, but that was actually a knee injury there, actually, that he had in that fight.
Yeah, he messed up his
Uh,
knee, man.
the guys that he's beating there, Jordan Wright, come on, man. What is he, Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright?
Yeah.
Fucking got knocked out by Chidi Njokwani.
He's actually the Hollywood ninja. Yeah.
Maki Pitolo he knocked out Maki Pitolo. So he's beating literally like bottom of the barrel guys, losing to RoboCop, losing to Chidi, losing to fucking CLD. He's just not caliber, I find, and I think Mansour is just much better and is going to be much stronger and better than him. I got Mansour winning this one by knockout or submission. How about you, Adio?
Yeah, I got to go with Abdul Malik. He just looks like a really tough customer to deal with his intensity and his power, and I just see him overwhelming Todorovic. Yeah, just his intensity, his power. Like in this case, to Dusko here, because he's coming off a very severe knee injury where it just popped on him. They didn't even touch each other before the fight started, I think, and he's probably going to be ginger on that leg. I think he knows that he's going to have to try to take Mansour down, and I don't know how much success he's going to have. I feel there's a good chance that Mansour is going to put everything into this fight early on to try and finish him off. And I think he probably will. The thing I worried about is Mansour's, his first fight in the UFC. We're talking about Dusk, who's had many fights in the UFC. And his cardio. Will his cardio last beyond the first round? These are just things that you would have to think about because we've never seen that from this guy. But from what we have seen, it looks like a pretty scary guy. So give me Mansour by knockout.
Yeah, Dusko's just looked just absolutely horrible. Mansour is going to be an absolute physical phenomenon. Wait till you see this guy. He is built and shredded the guy is shredded to the gills. He's built. He's ripped. Absolutely a phenomenal specimen. This guy when he fights. Looking at this guy's fights, there, I do see that a lot of his fights have been like this round two, round one, round one. So most of his fights are early. He finishes people in the first round, but he has gone. He did go to round two against West Schultz in the Contender Series. So I think he has the gas tank, though. The guy is very, very in great shape. I think he has the gas tank. I'm not worried about that. Dusko, on the other hand, man, just can't trust this guy anymore. All right, so we are in agreement with that one, Mansour, by finish for me. Let's get to the last fight, the main event of the prelims here. We got Ilizu Zelensky versus Zach Scoggins. Now, for this fight here, it's my turn, I think, on this one, yeah? Yeah. No, it's your turn. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, so, Scoggins, just watch a couple of his fights. Thing about him, man, he's going to be a big, tall guy for this division. That's the first thing that stands out. He has nice kicks at all levels, and he's pretty good at jiu-jitsu, although I don't feel he's the best off his back. Now, he hasn't fought the best competition at all. The last guy he fought wrestled more, and it was more of a challenge for him. And thing is, he was like 45 years old, and he looked kind of like the middleweight or the welterweight version of Luke Thomas. If any of you folks,
yeah, that guy Zach Buccia there. He looked like an old man in there.
Yeah, he looked well. Yeah, Luke Thomas. Love you, Luke Thomas. Eh? Yeah. So we and I think he's very green. So very green. Although he's been practicing BJJ for a while, and he seems like a very tough guy. And let me tell you, given space, those kicks hurt. But do you know who kicks well also is Zelensky. Great kicks if given the space. His spinning kicks, shit like that, they look good and they are good. Zelensky tough as nails. Zelensky was preparing to fight like a machine in Dalby. So we know Zelensky is going to be up to task. I think his endurance is going to be better. And I think Zelensky is just too wise and too crafty and too experienced, man. And he's gonna get the win here against Scoggins. Give me a knockout or decision.
Oh, thank God, man! Because the way you started, I thought you were gonna go for Zach Scoggins. I'm like, no, please don't tell me.
I have to talk about him, no?
Yeah, definitely going for Ilizu Zelensky. Like you said, he was supposed to fight Nicholas Dalby. Dalby withdrew. when I saw that fight against that old man, I couldn't believe that Zach was having a hard time against this guy. The other guy was very much shorter than him. He was able to get close to him, get him in the clinch. I seen him working him against the cage. Managed to land a few shots. The only reason why Zach won that fight was because he landed way more punches, way more strikes. The other guy barely threw, but he was able to take Zach Scoggins down to the ground and had some control time there. The second time he took him down, he got him from the back though and kind of tried to pull him backwards. And then when he landed on the ground, Zach got on top of him, so he fucked that one up. But Zach Puccia was originally going to get him down for a second time in that fight. It's only because he fell on his back that Zach Scoggins was able to get to land on top of him instead of it being the other way around. So I don't like the way he looked. He wasn't very impressive. His striking was so-so. Didn't look that really technical. This is a huge step up in competition for him. Zelensky's striking is 10 times better. His kicks are better. His grappling is going to be on point. He's going to take down Zach Scoggins a couple times. I think Elizeu's got this one in the bag, man. I'm going to take Zelensky to win by decision. I say it's going to be a unanimous decision or even a knockout. Like he can even probably knock him out and land something hard on Zach Scoggins. All right. So we are in disagreement for a couple of fights in the prelims. Stay tuned for the main card, folks. Like and subscribe. There you have it. Our early predictions for the prelims. Stay tuned, folks. Peace out, KAMMA.